though that I'm excited about. Well, I think that was a fun game for me. You're always nervous as a coach when you play any type of theme game, how the team's going to come out. Generally, I'm never worried about a pink game, but in this case, we have a brand new Razor Pink Adidas uniforms, which they're awesome.
Look
The
very
kids,
sharp out
yes,
there.
the kids
Thanks.
look awesome. I can't lie. I agree. I don't want to tell them too much because we focus too much on what they're wearing versus what they're doing. It can be a problem. And so the fact of the matter is, we got to win in these uniforms. I think that's really exciting. With that being said, for me, this game was about how we're going to be able to be consistent. Like I said last time, can we, string two games together? We're consistently getting better defensively. We saw teams that were very similar but very different at the same time. We saw a team in UTA that had a great point guard and good inside player. Same thing again, what you see with this particular team. They've got a great point guard, and number 5, Alicia Andrews, who's coming off of Player of the Week, as well as Brittany Logan, a big inside who's very dominant. The difference with them is, they're, to me, they're deeper in the bench with their talent. And I think our ability to be able to defend them was going to be critical. Our ability to be able to stay poised when they made a run was critical, and we were able to do that. And that's what you need, as people begin to scout you, they're able to understand how to stop you, how to find ways to mess you up or to get your kids to think that we're able to, boom, rebound back, go back to the scouting report or go to a timeout and make those adjustments. And that's what you found the kids did. In addition to that, we finished at the free throw line. That's a stat I remember. We did a phenomenal job at the free throw line. The last game with Ariel and Megan, they're traditionally great free throw shooters, so it was an off game. But the fact of the matter is, Aaron stepped up and hit some huge free throws for us. I don't think I remember seeing the child miss. No, she didn't. She was 7 for 7 tonight. I mean, that's what's going to carry your team long term. That's going to carry your team long term. And she hit 7 for 7 was awesome. Oh, nope, sorry, it's mine.
They certainly, thank you, sir. They certainly had no answer for this young lady. She hit the first 9 buckets. Scored the first 9 points of the game. Aaron, you came out very focused tonight. Just talk about your performance.
I think my team, they just found me in transition, and we just hit the open player, and I was open.
Aaron, you had 19 points the last time you played Georgia State. What is it about Georgia State that just brings out the best in you?
Listen, I just treat them like another game.
And then, Coach Z, talk about the 2 fouls towards the end of the game. One was looked like the way he was explaining it to us, it could have been a flagrant one or nothing. He chose to be nothing, and then he called a flagrant foul. What explanation did he give you about this?
Somewhat the same. He said, Brian said, I just missed it. I just missed the call. Yes, there was a foul there. I missed it. No, it wasn't flagrant. She didn't hit her anywhere in the face or head. And so because of that, he felt that, he said, I'm sorry, missed it. There's nothing we can do. Play ball. So of course that's upsetting that they missed a call, especially there towards the end of the game where it's still relatively close against a team who can score. But with that being said, we played through it. Then within, seconds, we have another call. The difference with that play call, they said, is that when they went to the monitor to take a look at it, they did see some head contact, that she hit her in the head. She cleared her with her elbow. And with that being said, if that is the case, it's very little you can do to argue it. It is a flagrant one, unfortunately. Regardless, anytime you hit someone in the head, you need to make the call. Now, I can go on and on about 2 other times that I felt in the game I saw that same thing being missed. But I think in this particular case, we end up winning the game. If I was on the opposite side of the ball, it would have been a little bit different. But, it's just disturbing that they missed the first call. But the second call they got it right. I mean, anytime you hit a kid in the head, you got to make the call. Anytime a kid's tripped, even inadvertently, it's a foul. Nobody likes it, but that's really how it played out, and that's what happened.
Any reason why the game got so chippy at the end? It's not like these 2 schools are big rivals or anything. It's not like it's UTSA or UT Arlington, but it got real chippy at the end. Any
I think, I'm not quite sure. I can speak for our kids. Our kids stayed poised the entire time. It's something we talked about regardless of what's going on. I also think that regardless of who you are, anytime your back's against the wall, you're going to fight, you're going to run. I think they're continuing to fight. Georgia State they want to be a contender. They're a very good team. They're extremely talented. So I think maybe that might be some of it, just their passion, their want to. And sometimes it doesn't turn out the way you want, so you're going to fight, you're going to, flee. But with all that being said, our team kept our heads about ourselves. We did a good job still taking care of the ball. We didn't entertain anything whatsoever. And I really appreciate that about the team, specifically because we talk about playing the Bobcat way, playing hard, playing smart, playing poised, and the poised piece was important today. I talked about adversity specifically. It's something that we need to get better at, and we're seeing that with our team now. Our ability to hit adversity, whether it be a bad play call, a bad foul call, a missed opportunity, a missed layup, a turnover, a missed shot, whatever it is, being able to play through it together as a team. And, the most important thing to me is playing through it as a team. And that's what we saw. They huddled and got through it.
Kalia and Jacqueline got in foul trouble pretty early.
Oh, yeah.
What was your strategy on stopping Logan in the paint with the two centers out?
Well, I think Logan helped us out somewhat herself because she had to sit on the sidelines as well. So that helped kind of with how we could kind of finagle matchups. But with that being said, we decided to stay man-to-man versus going zone. We have some kids that are pretty athletic that can move around. There were some times where Aaron had to guard her for short bits of time. There are times, too, when Whitney Apari had to guard her as well, who's just undersized, but she's a strong athletic kid as well. And so that was the thinking, that we still play the way we do. We're fortunate enough where we could scheme where we played off one particular player, and we could kind of help and deter, no different than when we played against UTA. I think that helped. That helped those times when she was in the game. I mean, she's tough. That kid's tough. She's a big, tough, strong body, and she moves that weight really well.
There were different points of the game where you guys were up by 10. Early in the first half, you were up by 12. They closed the gap. You guys ended up going into the locker room up by 2. And then the second half, you guys also went up by 12. As they were coming back, you got into foul trouble. 2 big bombs by Raven.
Huge. As I recognized, and I thought about this towards the end of the beginning of the game, the first half of the game, when they went in the 1-3-1, the 1-3-1 was causing us problems. And at that time, I started thinking, okay, I got to get Ray in the rotation. I just got to figure out what makes sense for us defensively. So with that being said, once we put Ray in, it's lights out for that young woman. She understands what her role is. Her role is, number one, to play defense and not hurt us, to help the team out defensively. And number two, on the offensive end, it's her job to score the ball in the right moments. And I think that's what I liked about tonight with Raven. She took good shots in flow. She didn't take any rut shots where she came in the game like, I've got to score for the team. She took shots in flow with a lot of confidence with the team behind her, and darn, those things went in. And Raven does what Raven does well. She steps in, does a good job solid defensively for us, and she knocks down shots when the team needs her. And can't say more than that because honestly we don't get this game. This game doesn't have this outcome without Raven Burns.
Raven, talk about your performance. What confidence shooting the ball today?
Thanks. Well, I just knew that whenever my name was called, first of all, when Coach Z said Raven, I was so happy. I was so happy to go in the game. I wasn't going to rush it because I know I do that sometimes. I go in the game and I just want to get some points for us real quick. But I was ready to help us out. Sometimes I get down on myself. In this game, I felt myself like helping everybody out. And everyone's like, good job, Raven. And I like that feeling to be able to help my team out.
Raven, 7 or 8 shots for 3-pointers. Are you more comfortable shooting 3 on the offensive side?
Yes.
Raven's a great 3-point shooter. She's awesome. I remember in high school, she's always in that right corner shooting threes in Bel Air High School all the time. That was her spot. Now she's expanded the game. She can score from a lot of different places, the 3 ball. But yeah, that's what Raven does. That's what she does well. And so on scouting reports, if people sleep, they're not going to know what she does suddenly when she comes to the game, and the head coach is going to have to turn to the assistant and say, wait, what does this kid do? Especially after she hits that first one. But if Ray hits her first one, there's going to be more to come. The other thing that Raven does is she really stretches it out, because if you have a combination where you have Ariel and Megan in, or Ariel and Taylor, and you've got a lot of 3-point shooters out there, that really makes it tough on defenses. And I think that opens up more honestly for Raven, because her minutes aren't as many as the others, and that's just another opportunity for us to be able to score the ball.
Aaron, I saw you take a shot to the chest early in the second half. How was that chest feeling?
I'm okay.
You got that going.
Talk 4 games going down the stretch. Talk about what you guys had to do down the stretch to get yourself.
Mark, I've really been taking game by game, especially with our team. I think with who our team is right now, it's important that we take it game by game, that we continue to get better defensively. When I mean better, consistent. Just more consistency now. I think we can play the type of defense we want to in order to allow us to score the ball the way we enjoy to. But I think for us, the consistency piece is important. So again, I'm going to talk about being able now to string these 2 wins here at home to on the road. And it always is chippy with Lafayette, period, or Louisiana, as they like to be called. So it's really important right now that they get some rest, to get their bodies mentally prepared, their minds mentally prepared for us to go on the road against Louisiana. Because that's going to be a tough game. That double overtime game here was tough to swallow. So being able to go down there is going to be important, because they're better. I mean, they're clearly better, and they play with a lot of heart. They wear their heart on their sleeves. They play with a lot of emotion. It's going to be a game on the road. I'll be very curious to see how we play coming off of this. And it's the only game we have that week. So I'm actually looking forward to it. I really am.
You had 2 games in 3 days. Can you comment on how your team played with the short intervals in the game?
You know, as I start to look at what's going on with women's basketball specifically, and when people have time off, and when they come into play, and who's just had one game, it seems not to make a difference whatsoever. It really doesn't. I mean, we lost the game against Lafayette, and they had to play, I think, like a 11 a.m. game. We lost the game to them, and we had plenty of time to prep. This time, Georgia State had time to prep against us, and we had to play, and you saw the result. I'll be honest with you, they looked more tired than we did. So to me, it's a mixed bag of tricks. When I can sit back when season's over, I'm actually going to go through the numbers and kind of take a look. Okay, what does it mean truly, and how is that going to affect my team, so I can prepare the team for that following year? But right now, I look at it as just I'm not going to push them any different. The only thing we're going to do is prep wise. We might do a little bit more walkthrough than we normally do the day before the game.